because I'm aware of dangers that they may not necessarily be aware of. This is what I'm talking about. I have an address that the block behind me has an address that's very, very similar. So if a new mail carrier comes along occasionally, my mail will go to that person's house or that person's mail will come to my house. Fortunately, we're both honest people. So it really isn't, it's more of an inconvenience than anything else. And we're at the point now where we know each other well enough where if that person's mail comes into my slide, I just walk over there, walk on their porch, slide the mail in, and occasionally they'll be there and I don't know. And they'll look out the window and they'll go, "Hey, it's Anthony. They did it again, huh?" I'm like, "Yeah." Or I'll see mail come through my door slot at a time after the mailman normally comes or before. And I'll see the mail come through and I'll recognize the hand and I'll laugh and I'm going, "Hey, get out of here." And they start laughing from the other side of the door. I walk out, I shake their hand. It's a thing. But it didn't start out that way. There was a time before I knew who this person was where I got their mail. This is the beginning. And what happened was I wanted to give them their mail back. And I said, "No, I'm going to do it in the morning." But I see at the time I didn't know who they were. So I'm not going to walk on somebody's porch at 10 o'clock at night. You know, they have this little tiny light above their door and I'm going to walk on their porch and I'm going to have their package in my hand. If you see somebody on your porch at 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, it's dark on your porch and you see a guy standing there with a package that has your name on it, you're going to think what? That he's trying to steal the package. So I was wise enough to know not to do that. And first of all, I wanted to get that person's phone number because I was definitely not even going to walk over there and knock on the door. I'm not doing that either. I know where that can go. We've seen enough of that on the news. And that didn't just start now when people shoot you through the door or open the door and start blasting. We know what the deal is. And I had a relative of mine they were staying at my house I think they were visiting me or something like that. And my nephews were over. They were going, "Hey, why don't you just send him over there?" And I'm like, "I'm not sending him a young guy with his hat turned backwards onto somebody's porch late at night. I'm not doing that. Doesn't make any sense." Now that's my experience. And I, of course, found the person's phone number online, called them and I told them, "Look, I'm kind of your neighbor. I'm across the street. My address is this." And I said my address, which is very similar to your address. This is not a crank call. I'm not trying to set you up or anything like that. I have a package here for you from, and I read the person's name. So now they know I know their address and I'm saying the name of someone that they know from a package. And it was a package that they were expecting. So they know it's not a setup. And I said, "My car is parked behind my house." I described my car. I described myself. I said, in 5 minutes, I'm going to walk outside and I'm going to wave the package standing next to my car, which you've seen parked there before. And then you flash the light so I'll know you saw me, and then we'll meet and I'll hand you your package. And that's what happened. We shook hands. "Oh, that's great." And then, as I said at the beginning of the podcast, now we're at the point where if there's a package that goes back and forth, I'll just run over and drop it in their door. They'll run over and drop it in my door. Fine. That worked out fine. Fast forward a few years. I'm visiting some friends of mine. And like I said, I have some friends that are a little nerdy around the edges, right? I love them to death. They're my buddies, but they're a little nerdy. It's a couple. I know the wife. I know the husband. They're both friends of mine, but they did not grow up anywhere near hood stuff. They don't get it. And they're not aware of certain dangers that apply. Okay. Something similar happened where a piece of mail was dropped over. I'm hanging out. We're watching something on TV, like a fighter thing. If I remember correctly, we're all sitting there. He's about to send his son down the block across the street onto somebody else's property with their package. And I just described what could possibly happen, but they didn't believe me. They didn't believe that was possible. They didn't understand the dangers of sending your teenage son to someone's dark house on their property at night, holding a package that belongs to them. And I said, and they were going to do it. And I overheard them and I said, whoa. You're going to send your son onto somebody's property at nighttime with a package in his arm? I normally, as you know, keep out of other people's business, but I don't know if that's the safest thing to do. I mean, that could be really bad, right? And the husband was like, "Well," and the wife of the couple, she likes me. We're cool. I'm close to the husband I'm cool with the wife. We have no animosity towards each other. We like each other, but we don't see each other that much because I'm normally hanging out with the husband. And we're cool. We're cordial. Like if she sees me, she walks up to me, she'll give me a hug, and she's one of those people that kiss you on the mouth, that kind of thing. So we're good. But I could see she was a little annoyed. It was almost like me, the person with no children, was trying to tell her, the person with children, what to do. But she liked me too much to be really angry or to be rude. But you can tell by the way somebody talks to you when they change the tone from their normal speech pattern that they're a little annoyed, and they may even be angry if someone else had said it, and they're a little annoyed at you, but they like you too much to blast you or to curse you out, but they do want to let you know that they disapprove of you going into the, oh, well, listen, Anthony, I think it's okay. I think I know what I'm doing here. I think it's going to be fine. And I told her the story that I just told you. Went right over her head. She just didn't want to hear it. She'd already made a decision. And the husband, he had went back into the other room at this point because he's watching the fight. And I'm going, I got to go in there. And so I'm going, I said, well, I just wanted to give you that information because I would feel bad if I didn't say, well, I think I've got this. Okay. I'm like, She gives the boy the package and sends him out. And they're watching the fight. And this is not even my kid. And I'm half watching the fight. And I'm kind of like a little weirded out. I'm like, all I want to do is I just want to hear their door open back up and this boy walk back into the house. I just want that to happen. And this is her son. This is her neighborhood. She knows it better than I do. But I would feel like an idiot if I didn't at least say something. So I said something. I had to say something. Some time goes by. And if you do the math, the amount of time it takes a young, healthy guy who didn't want to deliver the package, not because he was afraid, but because he wanted to watch the fights because he was, it was on the weekend. They let him stay up. He's a teenager, right around that age where you let him stay, he should not have taken this long. It should have been just run up, drop the package on the porch, ring the bell, give the package, come back. And it's a little longer. It's taken a little longer. It's taken a little longer than it should. Wait a second. And I'm feeling uneasy and I want to say something. I'm about to say something. But even these two, even the wife who is annoyed with me, she's looking at her watch and she's wondering why he's taking so long. What's going on? And then she looks at me and I look at her and she sees the concern on my face and I see the concern on her face and the husband I see the concern on his face. And the three of us are looking at each other kind of concerned and everybody else is oblivious to what's going on. They don't know. They're just watching two dudes kick each other in the mouth. And we're just going, and he goes, maybe I should go down there and see what's going on. I said, you know what? I'll go with you. She goes, I'll go. I said, he goes, no, you stay here. We'll go. And as we're putting our coats on quickly, and so he grabs his car keys. We're going to drive, even though it's not, you're an adult. You're not going to walk. You're going to drive. You know how it is. And as we're walking in, we see, while we're walking down the steps, we're heading towards the car. We see the son walking back. He doesn't have the package. So it was dropped off. But he does not look like somebody who just nonchalantly went down, dropped off a package and came back with nothing bad happening because he's uncomfortable. He feels he's now walking up to his dad and hugging his dad. And there's really nothing not normal about a teenage hugging his dad, but he's at that age now. He's at, you get to the teenagers where they're at the age where you're like, man, I don't want to be seen hugging you, dad. I don't want to drop me off down the block, dad. I want to be seen, dad. He was at that age, right? And he's hugging his dad and he's looking at me and he has this weird look on his face and he looks back up at his dad and we walk into the house. Right? And I didn't know what he said to his dad. But I know he was not good. I know that much. And his dad's got a little bit of a slightly shell-shocked look on his face. He's trying to be strong. Right? His son's unharmed. He's walking in the house. The son kind of jogs up the house, and he looks at me and he's kind of got this look on his face, a little bit weirded out. And I look at him and he's looking at me and I'm looking at him and he's looking at me and he doesn't have to tell me anything. I know something bad, but not super bad, but bad happened. And he walks in the house and the son is hugging the mom and the mom's looking at me like shocked. And the mother, the kid goes into another room. He goes into the kitchen and grabs a soda. And he goes upstairs and you can hear the video game start up, right? And then the husband and the wife talk. And then the wife sits down and she's kind of looking, just like looking off into space. And she looks up at me as if to say, okay, I was wrong. And I walk in, the husband, my friend, motions me into the kitchen. And then he tells me the story. He tells